YOLO boys, it's your boy founding Popcorn, found Popcorn 798 here with episode 2 to Popcorn Time, here with an interesting verses. And I was seeing this verses around for quite a while now. I've seen it on YouTube videos, I've seen it on polls, I've seen it on the internet, I've seen my friends discussing it, and that is who would win in a straight up fight against Lord Sauron versus Darth Vader. And I have seen multiple times, I mean 9 times out of 10, I have seen people saying Lord Sauron would absolutely crush Darth Vader without a second thought. Now, after looking up some crucial analysis of both their profiles, of their height, their weight, their strengths, and their weaknesses, I don't think it's as one-sided as many people would believe. Now, I've got my personal preference of who I think would win. Who I like more out of the two. I mean, I love both series. I love Star Wars and I love Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings happened to be it's my favourite movie of all times. But even my own personal view, biased view, it's not as one-sided as people would believe. It's actually quite evenly matched, and I'll actually show you some interesting information on both of their characters here. Now, let's go to both their profiles. Both their profiles up here. I'll show you these two videos in a little bit. Now, let's look at Sauron to begin with. His weight is 529 pounds, and he stands tall at 9 foot and 2 inches with his armor on. He's lawful evil, so he's completely 100% evil. And let's just have a little read of his background, shall we? Sauron was born as the Maya Mararian, servant of the Valar Eru. Originally pure of heart, with love of order, he was manipulated into darkness by the original Dark Lord Morgoth. Serving as Morgoth's apprentice, Sauron acted as his second in command in the fallen Valar's conquest from Middle-earth. After Morgoth's fall, Sauron fled to Middle-earth, where he lay dormant for 500 years as he built up armies of orcs. After convincing the elves to construct 10 of the Rings of Power, Sauron secretly constructed the 9 rings for men as well as the 1 ring to dominate the others. Through his power, he drove the 7 dwarves who wielded the rings to immense greed, while enslaving their men wielders into his 9 Nazgul, his strongest minions. He set up a fort at the volcanic lands of Mordor, where he waged war with Middle-earth. Twice he had been destroyed, the forces of men and elves. Twice he reformed. After one final clash with their forces, not only was Sauron obliterated, but the ring had been lost. Weakened and without a body, Sauron was forced to reform and regain strength once more. Gradually he built his defences in Dol Guldur until he could finally return to Mordor to attempt to reunite with the One Ring and bring Middle-earth into darkness once again. Now, let's have a look at Darth Vader's. Hang on. Now, Darth Vader, we're going to read it from as Darth Vader, not as Anakin Skywalker, but as Darth Vader. Darth Vader, in his suit, weighs 291 pounds and stands tall at 6 foot 6 inches with his suit on. Now, let's read a bit more about Darth Vader's background. Anakin Skywalker's life was that of a child slave on the harsh desert planet of Tatooine, before the Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn discovered him and determined that Anakin was the chosen one, due to being conceived by the midichlorians. Under the training of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin became more in tune with the Force, and rose among the Jedi ranks. But as he grew older, he only felt more and more imperfect, with the tipping point being a dream about his wife dying at birth. Anakin turned to the dark side of the Force to fix himself, which resulted in him falling into lava during a battle against Obi-Wan. Even though he was severely damaged, the Emperor rescued him and supported him with new armor, turning him into Darth Vader. Years later, after discovering his son, Vader had a change of heart and sacrificed himself to save him from the Emperor and the dark side. After life, Anakin would spend his afterlife as a spirit of the Force, guiding the next generation of Skywalkers to come. Now, that tells us quite a bit about both of our characters there. Not as much as about Darth Vader personally, what he done, but we can see in all the movies and games and comic books for that matter as well, what Darth Vader has done throughout his life as Darth Vader when he was purely evil. We're going to now. I'm now going to show you before I read anything into their powers and their weaknesses. We're going to show you a couple of clips. Now, I do not own these clips of any right. They're all copyright claims go towards the respective owners of who made these clips and slash movies. First of all, we're going to look at Lord Sauron and his main weapon, which is his mace. And here's a quick little clip for us, guys. That'll do it for that bit. As you can see, guys, Lord Sauron's mace is deadly. I mean, it is so deadly, in fact. Let's read up about Sauron's mace, shall we? Now, where is it? His mace. Much like his master, Sauron wielded an oversized mace into combat. Not much is known about the weapon, but it's been shown to scatter legions of men and elves alike with a single blow, as we just witnessed in the video, guys. Now, I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how strong you are. Looking at this mace here, what it's capable of.
Power of the ring.
Hang on. Look at this. Let's look at it one more time, guys. Let's look at it one more time. That is going to be absolutely devastating. I mean, look at that. That is devastating, guys. I don't care how strong Darth Vader's armor is, which it is a very powerful bit of armor. I mean, his armor, if I'm not much mistaken, and let me know, guys, down below if I am, his armor is made out of one of the best materials in the galaxy, in his galaxy. I mean, it can withstand blasters. Sorry. I mean, look at the scene in Episode 5 where Han Solo shoots Darth Vader. That wasn't because of him using the Force to stop the blasters. That was actually him just putting his hand up and the blasters hitting his hand. Didn't do anything. Didn't even phase him. Now, I'm not saying Darth Vader's got his weakness. Darth Vader has his own personal strengths. I mean, pulling you to this clip right here of Jedi Fallen Order, which is a great game. Again, guys, I do not own any of the content that I'm about to show you, but let's go.
We gotta run! Look out!
Now, Darth Vader's main strength, as far as I can tell, other than his lightsaber skills, which is amazing, is his force. It's his force ability, especially his force pull and force wave, his force repulse, his force pull, and his force choke. Obviously, is his main abilities for attack. Darth Vader, when he got cut in half, well, not cut in half, but cut to pieces by Obi-Wan Kenobi, it really severed his ability to use his lightsaber as efficiently as he could when he was Anakin Skywalker. And Darth Vader was severely weakened, but he wasn't completely stopped. I mean, while yes, his force abilities might not be as strong as they once was, he's still a force to be reckoned with. With his force abilities. The force abilities he does have and can use, he has fine-tuned over many years to be as powerful as he can. I mean, looking at this bit again, this bit here, look at the way he does rip that stuff apart. I mean, let's watch a bit further, shall we? This is all Darth Vader without barely even moving.
Let's go.
Let's just mute it. I mean, look at the way Darth Vader just rips things apart with his mind. I mean, look at that. Darth Vader has a special ability, and I think this I'm correct here. Darth Vader is one of the only people who can use the Force with his mind. I believe I'm correct in saying that. Darth Vader can use the Force with his mind alone. He's that powerful. Now, I'm not going to, like I said at the beginning of the video, it could go either way. Darth Vader's skills with a lightsaber is unmatched. Is completely unmatched compared to anyone else he's fought against. Darth Vader is amazingly strong. I mean, if we go a little bit further into the video, I'm going to show you his one side, is a bit of his lightsaber combat here. We've got to get it right. This bit here. I mean, let's skip a bit ahead. Oh, not that far ahead. I mean, look at the way he's not even trying. He wasn't even trying there, guys. Look at that. Hang on. He is literally not. He's barely even putting any effort into that fighting. He's got one hand down by his side, and he's not even got two hands with his lightsaber. He is unmatched in his lightsaber fighting. I mean, he's being almost defeated by a couple of people in the couple of Jedi's in the comics, but he's always overcome them somehow, some way, one way or another. Darth Vader is unmatched with his fighting style, but so is Lord Sauron. Now, both of these characters, both as far as I understand it, both like to use other means to destroy their foes, as it says on Lord Sauron's page somewhere. I've got to try and find it. I don't know where it would be. It's on this page somehow. Somewhere. Don't know where it is. But I don't know where it says it, but somewhere on this page, if you can find it for me, guys, let me know. But Lord Sauron prefers using other methods rather than physical combat. And so does Lord Vader, as far as I can tell. I mean, he's very strong in the Force. Don't get with his lightsaber combat, but he also is very good in the Force as well. But I think I'm going on a rambling too much. Who do I think who do I think would win? Now, this has to going to be relying quite a bit on the actual weight here. Darth Vader may not be as big and as strong as Lord Sauron himself, but he is going to be faster. I mean, that weight there, 529 pounds. That's almost, I believe, almost double of what Darth Vader is. Darth Vader is 291. He is 529. So Darth Vader is going to be faster, along with his natural speed with his suits. As you can see in all the comics and in the movies, Darth Vader does have a burst of speed and can move very fast. He may not be able to do it every second of his time, or every single second, but he does have and can and has done put on a big burst of speed, which does shock and disable most of his opponents. That, along with his natural strength because of his suit as well, puts Darth Vader at a significant, in my opinion, a bit of an advantage. Not much, but a bit of an advantage. Now, as far as the Force abilities goes and the magic of Lord Sauron, I think that would cancel each other out. They're both very magical and very powerful in their own rights with their own respective magical abilities, and I believe that would cancel each other's abilities out. And I think they both rely on their physical abilities. They're going to have to. Lord Sauron may not have as many magical abilities as Darth Vader does, but he does have quite a few powerful ones as well. For example, he can summon meteors from the sky. He can manipulate when Mount Doom erupts. He has the fire immunity. He's immortal, so he can't even die when he's killed, guys. I mean, as far as I understand it, when the ring was destroyed completely in Mount Doom, he wasn't actually killed. I believe he was banished by the Maya. I don't know if I'm correct about that though, so you'll have to let me know about that. He's a skilled tactician, and that's something else that I'm gonna have to put into it. Darth Vader in his prime is around 40 years old. Sauron is been around since the dawn of the first age. He's around before then. So Lord Sauron has had centuries, thousands of years to hone his skills of combat and his abilities. So who do I think would win? It could go either way. It's a very close battle, guys. It's very close. It's very close. I mean, there's not much more I can say about the matter, guys. I mean, there's only one other way thing I can put into Lord Sauron's hand slightly more than Darth Vader, and that is Darth Vader's two biggest weaknesses, and that is Darth Vader's reliance on the suit and his life support system. Now, as you saw, Lord Sauron is a master tactician. He's a skilled tactician. He may not know what the blinking box does on his suit, but he's gonna know that's important because Darth Vader in a lightsaber, when he draws his lightsaber, he always protects that box when he attacks. He always protects it. He makes sure it's not vulnerable. And Lord Sauron, he may not know what that blinking thing does. I mean, he will understand it, but he's going to know that that is important to Darth Vader, and he's going to also work out quite quickly that that suit is also a hindrance to him as well as a strength. It's also a great weakness to him, and Lord Sauron, I believe, would work that out very fucking quickly, and he will use that, I believe, or try to use that against Darth Vader. He will try and use his mace to hit that blinking box because the second that life support system takes bit of damage, Darth Vader instantly becomes vulnerable. He becomes vulnerable quite quickly if it's damaged. As you can tell, it's his life support system. It helps him breathe, along with multiple other uses it has. The main thing it does, it helps Darth Vader to breathe. And if that thing takes enough damage, that is going to break. And as you can see, guys, if I show you one more time, guys, that mace. Look at that. That is flying. Is hitting multiple enemies at the same time. It's a powerful weapon Lord Sauron has got. And before people say that, oh, lightsabers can cut through anything. No, it can't cut through anything. It can cut through most materials, yes, but not absolutely everything. I'm going to draw you now, guys, to the Old Republic quite quickly here. The swords that could withstand and can be used against lightsabers easily, quite easily. Most materials can be cut through by lightsabers: metal, wood, cups, boxes, whatever. But some things cannot be cut it cannot be cut by a lightsaber. And I believe Sauron's mace is one of those few items that cannot be cut from a lightsaber. Actually, I think quite a lot of things won't be cut from his lightsaber from Middle Earth because, again, it's a similar material, if I'm not much mistaken, to the material that's used in the blades from in the Old Republic. Now, I could be wrong there, but I still think, even if it's not the same material, I still think Darth Vader's lightsaber will not cut Lord Sauron's mace in half at all. I don't think that would happen in any way, shape, way, or form. So, now, before I carry on, Sauron does have one major weakness, and that is one major weakness, and I think all guys, you can gather what that is, and that is the One Ring. As much as it is a strength to Lord Sauron, it's also his greatest hindrance. And the best way to put this in perspective is a Horcrux. It's all I can, basically I can put it up as is a Horcrux basically from, and I know Lord of the Rings came up first, but basically it's a Horcrux. Slightly different because unlike the Horcruxes in Harry Potter, the One Ring Horcrux actually gives Lord Sauron more power. Um, As it says here, to ensure his victory over the mortal army, Sauron poured his own power into the legendary ring he crafted. So, if I'm understanding that correctly, he becomes even more powerful when he's equipped with the One Ring, making him even more of a formidable foe. But at the same time, that's his weakness. If he's severed from that ring, as you can tell from from the Middle Earth, he becomes greatly weakened. Still powerful, yes, but still weakened. And Darth Vader, who's also not a dummy, he's also very quite smart as well, would also realise this and realise that One Ring is what's giving him his power. And if Darth Vader lands a lucky blow, like what happened in, like what happened, if I just show you up quickly, look at this a second. Lucky blow, straight on his hand. If Darth Vader gets a lucky blow in like that, Lord Sauron is defeated. In retrospect, kind of a way. However, it's trying to get to the ring. Now, people can just say, "Oh, he can just force pull the ring off of him, off of Lord Sauron's fingers." I don't think that's the case either. I think because look at that, Sauron. Sauron can lift objects with his mind. He's got basically force abilities as well. Maybe not as strong as Darth Vader. No, I mean Darth Vader's been specially trained to use telekinesis. Sauron probably hasn't, but he can still do it. He's got other abilities which makes him more stronger, obviously, but he has got telekinesis. So, like I said, force abilities won't be much use against either of them at all. So, I think that is pretty much out the question. Lord, I think if Vader's going to win against Sauron, it's going to be with his speed and sheer goddamn luck to defeat Lord Sauron. Again, Lord Sauron towers over him and is stronger than him in every way in this perspective. But Darth Vader, because of he may not be as big as him and not as weighs much as him, that makes Darth Vader quicker than Lord Sauron by default. And as well, with his natural quickness, with his force abilities, and with his natural strength, and plus on top of that his suit strength on top of that, and with his force strength, it makes Darth Vader quite a formidable foe. Now, let's set up this thing. They both arrive on the planet. They don't know how they got there. They just both arrive there. Um, they're both naturally evil, and they both go at each other. Lord Sauron tries to hits him with the mace. Vader dodges. Vader quickly realizes that this is not one of those fights he can easily walk away from, so he quickly puts on his guard and goes on the defensive for a little while, quickly realizing that yes, Lord Sauron is bigger than him and stronger than him, but Lord Sauron will weaken over in time because of how strong he is. He's going to be slower, and the more times he swings that mace, surely he's going to get tired from that, because that is a big hunking mace, and he is huge in that armor. So Vader probably quickly realizes that he's going to have to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi maneuver and outlast him. He's going to have to do what Obi-Wan Kenobi did to him, to Lord Sauron, and go on the defensive and wait for an opportunity to strike, like Obi-Wan Kenobi did to him all those years ago on Mustafar. They're both feisty for quite a long time. Darth Vader, after I don't know, 10 minutes of fighting, Lord Sauron starts becoming weakened because of how much energy he's pursuing and wasting. Vader sees this as his opportune moment to strike. He uses his force choke and draws Lord Sauron in. Leaving himself slightly open, Lord Sauron sees his moment and smashes Darth Vader with his mace right on his life support box. Darth Vader, being sent flying with the sheer power of the mace, goes smashes into a tree and slumps to the floor. Now, from this moment on, guys, this could go either one of two ways. Lord Sauron could just smash his face in with his mace, and Darth Vader could be dead. Or, alternatively, Darth Vader, being a stubborn man that he is, gets back up. His life support being extremely damaged, he goes more on the defensive, protecting his life support box with any means necessary. Darth and Sauron, pursuing his small victory there, pursues his advantage and carries on attacking Darth Vader. Darth Vader, worried about the outcome of this battle, starts to realize that this guy, this entity that he's fighting against, is a power even beyond perhaps the Emperor himself. Realizing this, Lord Vader force pushes him with his force wave, I believe it is. Um, yes, that one. He uses this force wave and blasts him back with a into the and manages to fall back. Now that's what I think would happen. I don't think any one of them would win. I think Sauron would have a slight advantage over Darth Vader though, and that's because of the sheer power of the mace. I think none of them both. I don't think any one of them would walk away unscathed. I mean, Darth Vader will probably get a few blows in with his lightsaber and damage and hurt quite Lord Sauron. But again, I don't think either one of them would die, but neither one of them would walk away unscathed. Lord Sauron and Darth Vader would walk away badly injured from this fight. Now that is my synopsis of the video of this, guys. I hope you found it interesting and you found it worth the watch. If you've got any suggestions down below, guys, let me know let me know, and I'll do them. I'll look up in information, and I'll do a I'll do it. I'll look up information and try and give my honest opinion. Now, my own biased view, I think Lord Sauron would win. This is my own biased view. This is not going off anything I've seen. My biased view, I think Lord Sauron would smash Darth Vader's face, and I personally think that. I mean, I love Darth Vader to pieces. I mean, he's one of my favourite bad guys of all times. His redemption story is amazing. But against the power of Lord Sauron, who has lived for longer, he's got more experience, he's got more training, and everything else, I don't think Darth Vader stands a chance. But again, looking at the analysis, it says otherwise. And it would be more likely 50-50. I mean, we all got our own opinions, guys. I mean, we all got our own opinions. Oh, Darth Vader winning because of this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, the facts say otherwise, and they're both very similar in fighting styles. Both of them really are, and there's not much more I can say. Their force abilities, they'll cancel each other's own force abilities out, like the fight between Yoda and Count Dooku. They cancel each other out with the force, and they had to rely on single-handed combat. I think the same will apply here. They both won't get the upper hand with their ability with magic / the force. They both won't get the upper hand there. I mean, you can argue that Lord Sauron can just throw down a meteor down on Darth Vader, and then you can just say Darth Vader can just throw it away with a force push or force push it towards Lord Sauron, and then Lord Sauron can do the exact same thing with his telekinesis and throw it back at Darth Vader, and Darth Vader can just throw it away, realizing that the force is not going to do much against Lord Sauron, and Lord Sauron's telekinesis and his own powers won't do much against Vader. It's going to be down to purely physical combat. And physical combat wise, Lord Sauron has this slight edge over Vader. Not by much, but a slight. Now, however, if Darth Vader can use his speed to his advantage, he can get the upper hand on Lord Sauron quite quickly. But that it's finding that opportune moment. And unlike Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader is always a bit of a hothead. He always has been. I mean, he might be more experienced and more calmed down and more experienced in combat, but he's always been slightly the hothead, and always will be. He will always use rash decisions. Always has done, always will do. It's part of one of his little flaws, in my personal opinion. And Darth Vader is not patient. He won't be able to wait for that long, wait for that opportune moment. But that's my personal opinion, guys. I think it could go either way, or maybe slightly in the favour of Lord Sauron. But I hope you've enjoyed this little video, guys. Next time, guys, it will be probably about Bat God. Now, I'm probably going to offend a lot of fans here, but we're going to be talking about it. Well, it's not going to be a versus. This is going to be a little talk about him and find out why you guys and everyone thinks that he is bad God. I'm going to go and do in-depth analysis and rip him apart and give him some compliments as well. I mean, I like Batman as well, but I don't think he's a god. I mean, I don't think he's a be and a be all. I mean, he's strong and powerful, but he's not the be and a be all. But that's for episode 3, guys. As for the time being, guys, that will do it for episode 2 of Popcorn Time. Hopefully you have enjoyed, guys, and I thank you for watching this video. And until next time, guys, you've been watching and listening to Founding Popcorn, Found Popcorn 798. And until next time, ciao for now. Ciao for now.